Hey gang, Mocha Boy here from Reddit Force. Welcome back, and thanks for tuning back in. So we just wrapped up the second war in our war week. We got one more war before we take a quick break, but this was a war that I pointed out to you in my last recap. And check this out. These guys were they had about 38 some odd wins. These guys had 16 Town Hall 10s, starting at about there. So I mean, anytime we see Town Hall 10s in this range, around the 20 or 18 range, we knew immediately that these guys were all rushing their bases. We've only got 8 Town Hall 10s, and these guys had double the amount. Yes, they do give us trouble, but we've been training up our Town Hall 9s to punch high, and we were able to pretty much star every single one of them, except except for one or two that might have gotten away from us. But we're gonna go over 4 of those. We're gonna go over 4 raids from this war, but you can see the results there. They really couldn't convert against any of our bases, including our top Town Hall 10 bases, and they had trouble pretty much throughout the range. And let me show you why. So the next time that you're in a war and you think that you might be matched out, take a look at their troops. We went through and did a quick assessment of all of their troops, and pretty much everything from this group down had absolutely nothing that they could use to 3-star any of our bases. The ones that did concern us were these top 10 guys. These top 10 guys had pretty much maxed out troops all the way throughout, but in some cases all they had were, say, maybe max GoWi attacks, but not hogs, or max GoWi attacks and no loons. You can 3-star bases with max GoWi, but a lot of times what you really need to seal the deal are level 5 hogs and level 5 loons, of which we saw nothing from pretty much down from here down. And that actually bore out in as the war progressed. As you can see, they averaged maybe better than 1 star per attack. They averaged maybe better than 1 star per attack, and actually worse. And we had a lot of revisits on a lot of different Town Hall 10 bases, which accounted for our score. But we did clean up the Town Hall 9 bracket as much as best we could. So yeah, I mean, like I said, the next time you're in a tough matchup, take a look at their troops, do a quick assessment to see exactly what type of trophy armies they have to bring to bear. If everybody's got Hogs 5, then maybe you take a break. But for this one, a lot of people had Hogs, but nobody knew how to use them, and they ended up falling back to GoWipe and Dragon Raids, which in a lot of cases we were able to shut them down. So the first replay I wanted to do was from one of our newer members. He's a Town Hall 8, and this was a 3-star attack against the Town Hall 8, and this was the first attack on this base. We kept pointing back to this raid because it shows a couple of really good examples of how to lure the clan castle and how to dispatch them and keep your troops alive. Now notice he used 1 giant to pull them out, and he used 1 very slow barbarian to start pulling them out. And this is smart. One of the mistakes I see people doing a lot is using archers to pull. You don't want to use archers to pull because they're too fast. They're too fast and they're ranged, and then that usually cuts the distance that you can pull them out. But notice he was able to draw them out with barbarians and then get his witches down immediately. Once those witches start spawning their skeletons, it's pretty much over for the clan castle. And at this point, it's just a matter of dropping your 2 golems and then your 2 P.E.K.K.A.s along with the rest of your kill squad. He brought a ton of wall breakers to make sure that he could get in. This particular base had not a lot of pockets, so it was pretty susceptible to this attack. You'd have one golem going high, 1 golem going low, and then the rest of the kill team would just come in and mop up the base. But I mean, that was a really good example of a good lure, good setup for a funnel. Got his P.E.K.K.A.s in there right away, waited to use his spells, brought a heal. This was another important thing. Because he was able to lure out the CC, he was able to bring 2 rages and a heal, which, a lot of times when you're using GoWipe, it's very easy to get your troops into the core of the base, but getting them out, a lot of times they need just that one little recharge to keep them going the rest of the way. And I mean, at this point, he's in the core. Another great thing he did here is he saved a couple of troops just to clear out the other side of the base. A lot of times it's going to come down to just those last few minutes of the raid. And anything that you can do to get those troops, anything that you can do to get those buildings put down faster is always a good thing. So great job on the lure, great job on the spells, and the deployment of the troops and holding troops back. A really good example of what a Town Hall 8 GoWipe against the Town Hall 8 base would look like. Right, so this next base was hit by, it was another Town Hall 9 that was hit by one of our Town Hall 9 bases. Let's take a look at this. Now, one of the common questions that we get in chat is, how do I know what base to attack? And really, a lot of times it comes down to what you're proficient in. Now, Bob happens to be a very decent hogger, and when we saw this base pop up, we were just like, this is a hogger's dream. What you guys should know is that after the update, there is the added danger of the Archer Queen as well as the skeletons. But one of the things that you'll see right away is that there's almost no space internally anywhere on the space for anything but spring traps, and they're pretty easy to spot. One there, set there, set there, set there, set there. They're not really going to be an issue. There's so many different ways to go around those. But I mean, as far as hog raids are concerned, all of the old rules apply with a couple of new twists. Rule number 1 obviously is lure the clan castle, but rule number 2, or step number 2 rather, is deal with the AQ. So as you're working with, as you're working on your plan to attack the base, you have to take out these 2 threats first, and then after that, it's a matter of planning your routes. And when you do plan your routes, you want to do things like try to spot the traps and then figure out ways to get around those traps. One easy way to do that is, especially in this scenario here, is to deploy 2 strings or deploy a couple of hogs over here to take out this guy and potentially move on to that, so that your hogs move kind of in this direction around the spring traps. Because remember, every time they hit one, that's -3 hogs. So they're definitely something to be avoided if at all possible. So let's go ahead and take a look at that replay and see how Bob handled this. So 26 hogs. Okay, I remember one of the issues that he ran into was the pathing for this was tricky with these external buildings. He really had no choice but to sacrifice a lot of troops to get in. And I mean, he was finally able to start pulling out some of the troops. He's already really low on hogs though, but this is a fairly low level base, so 16, 17 hogs really is enough to take care of them. Again, one of the things that you'll notice is as the clan castles come over, the witches are already down well in advance of them getting there. And once the skellies start to get hit, everything starts to key in them. Now, one of the keys to a lot of different hog raids is to make sure that your kill team survives the kill process so that they can go in and start cleaning up some of the base. He's already got his heroes down. This threat's removed, so those springs are pretty much useless. And he starts his hog raid in 2 strings, one from the southwest and one from the northeast. They'll converge around the kill team and then just start to core out this base. But I mean, at this point, he's got his 1 rage left, 3 heals. It really is just a matter of staying up on top of the heals, and this is just a good old-fashioned hog raid against a grid base. There's not too much. There wasn't too much of a challenge in getting this developed out, so this was a great training ground for some of our newer hoggers, and we definitely worked with them to to get through that base. So yeah, I mean, he's made it to the end. 1 defense down. As soon as that defense goes down, he goes into cleanup mode for the 3-star, and great job. So yeah, Bob's been doing really well in that respect. So hoping to see more from him along those lines. Now the next raid that we have, let's see, so we did TH8, TH9. Now for the next raid, we're going to skip all the way to the top. Again, these guys had 16 Town Hall 10s, and a lot of them ended up gemming their Infernos down low, but it didn't make a difference. We were able to star them anyway. So their number 1 had this base. And if you guys have seen this, we've seen a lot of different types of bases like this. This is kind of like what you would get with, it's almost a teaser style base in that there is this pocket over here that's just nothing but buildings and defenses that are designed to split your golems and split your defense-led troops and then lure the rest of your troops into a bunch of double bombs. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, it didn't. And the trick here, this base was 2-starred by Raisin, who's sitting, she's a Town Hall 9, and she sits in the, I think, number 14 position, and she was able to 2-star this on the first attack. And this was with a gowiwi wipe. So it was a gowiwi army to get into this pocket and then snipe the Town Hall using the Archer Queen, and then a Pekka to clean up these outside buildings. So as far as planning was concerned, this wasn't too difficult because the way the base was laid out, it was basically just inviting a snipe from long distance. And regardless of the fact that the expos were in range, they didn't even factor in. And you'll see all that work out. So 1 lightning, 3 rages. No heals for this because the kill team's pretty much going to be expendable, and after they get in and get that town hall down, it's not not going to have to worry. She's not going to have to worry too much more. I believe she has 1 max P.E.K.K.A. in the clan castle, so the golems are down, drawing fire to keep away from these guys. The kill team's on their way in. Once the witches get access to the clan castle troops, it's pretty much over for them. And then once the witches get on the heroes, they go down pretty fast too. Witches are probably the best troop in the game for taking down heroes, provided you have easy access to them. In which case, that was the case here. So that entire center is cored out. The AQ is now in there, and she'll be locking onto the town hall in just about a moment. So she's level 20, about I want to say about a few thousand hit points. And once the expos lock on her, it's not that big of a deal because she has so many hit points, and she still has her ability. So she was able to knock out the town hall using her ability there. And then at this point, she's at 36%, and now she's looking at options for taking out the rest of the buildings. She starts off in the left-hand corner. And remember, the P.E.K.K.A.s will prioritize buildings that are unexposed, that are undefended. So he'll basically just walk around this entire set of buildings along with a couple of archers on the outside here to take out those last set of buildings for the 2-star. So again, fantastic job planning this attack out. It really was just about taking out this pocket, a few other buildings, and then these exterior buildings. She was able to do this with about 3 or 4% to spare. So again, a fantastic attack that freed up 2 Town Hall at 10 attacks that we could use elsewhere for that, which was one of the keys to us beating these guys. Now the last raid that we have, this was our fun raid. We were within the last I want to say 15-20 minutes of the war, and we had this pretty much locked up. This was a 3rd visit back to this base, and this was again by Raisin. This was a fun attack that we were playing with in clan chat a little bit earlier. But let's see if I can bring it up here. Hang on. Right, so this was the last attack, and check out the troops for this. 12 healers, 6 hogs, 3 wizards, and 5 wall breakers. Yes, this is a healer AQ raid. What we did here was, or at least the trick for making this work, is making sure you get those external buildings pulled down, and then at that point, with 12 healers on the AQ, she's practically invincible. Now, if you notice, she used 1 set of lightning bolts to take out one of the air defenses, and at this point, it's just a matter of her against the clock, and throwing in support troops to take out those external buildings. But with nothing to take out these healers, she is just going to go to town on this base, and she was responsible for taking out pretty much 50% of this base, along with just a couple of other buildings. One of the other nice things about her, though, is when she's got 12 healers locked onto her, is that the more defenses she covers, they stick on her like white on rice, and they won't touch anything else until she moves around, until she's finished dropping what she's attacking and then moved on to the next target. So, if you can work her into a position where she's drawing, 5-6 defenses, 12 healers is enough to keep her alive with at least 5 or 6 defenses bearing down on her. Now, one of the other things that you can play with, 12 is kind of overkill. 6 is about what you would need for a medium to go up against, say, 3 or 4 defenses. And then for every defense, just add another healer. So if you were taking on, say, 5 defenses or 6 defenses, then you move up to 8 healers. She decided just for fun she would do 12. And I mean, this was really overkill, as you can see, because she's got 5, 6, 7, the AQ, all bearing down on her, and she's not losing any health at all. So this was pretty crazy. She finally finishes coring out the base. She's now on the town hall, and at that point, it's just a couple more seconds. That town hall is going to go down, and then the rest of the expos are going to go down. This one did come down to the wire. She had about maybe 3 or 4 seconds left to go before she hit that 50%, but she was able to rake in that last 3 or 4%, with not too much time left in. So yeah, healer AQ for the 2-star. Who knew? So that about wraps it up for this raid. We've got one more going into our break. This one's going to be a little bit trickier. These guys, we are again matched up against an Asian clan, and These guys have 60 wins, and they only war once a week, so they're definitely doing something right. And we went through, did the assessments. It looks like they've got pretty good, pretty good troops all the way throughout. So we're looking forward to this next war. Yep, look for that video out in the next couple days. Other than that, hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like to see, and keep on clashing. Take care.